Hello, we are Living Free with Paleo. We are
Scott.
And I'm Kim. And today we are going to be making some cassava tortillas. These are great for tacos, for some sandwich wraps, anything that you would use bread or a tortilla for. These make a good replacement. Scott's going to be the one to make it for you, and here he goes.
All right. Well, I got my bowl here.
We'll make a little adjustment. There we go.
All right. Now you can see what I'm up to. Okay, I've got a cup of cassava flour. I'll put that in there. I've got a half a teaspoon here, but it's a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. That's our baking powder substitute, because most baking powder is made from corn, so something we don't use. Now I've got some sea salt here. I'll put probably a 1/8 to a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I melted down some a tablespoon of coconut oil. I'll pour that in there. Turn on the pan, let that get warmed up.
So what do you have over there, a cast iron pan?
Yeah, I have a cast iron pan that I'm gonna warm these up in. You want some type of non-stick pan, so I'm gonna use, but I've got a cup of warm water. This is room temperature water that I got, but warm water works good for mixing. You don't want it ice cold. But I'm not gonna pour the whole thing in at once here. It should take it, but we'll see. Because it's one thing with these tortillas, you don't want them too wet, you don't want them too dry. You're gonna just kind of work up onto it. You can see it's they're kind of pilling up right there. Kind of looks like a biscuit dough right now. I'll put a little more water in there. If you make these a little too wet, then they want to stick to your paper when you put them in the pan. If you get them too dry, then they're a little crumbly. You want them so they just kind of hold together. Maybe just a fuzz more. You want them to hold together, but not have too much crumbly stuff in the bottom. I got some dry spots, so these are getting pretty good. But it should just about take that whole cup of water.
But it is more important about really to watch how they look.
Too, as you make them, if they start to seem a little dry, you can add a little more water while you're making them. Just squeeze them together. See how the whole bowl there is sticking in my clump? That's how you want it. So that's about it for my dough. I probably got just under 1/4 cup. So it took about 3/4 that time. But it seems like you'll have a different amount each time you make it. It just goes by feel. Okay, and then I want to make it into a nice little ball. That's probably an inch or just a fuzz more. 25 millimeter, yeah, 25 millimeters.
And for the rest of us, an inch.
Yeah, for the rest of us, an inch. Okay, now I got some parchment paper. I'm gonna wrap this in parchment paper. I've seen some recipes where they tell you to put it on a piece of like a Ziploc bag cut in half, but I don't like to do that. I tried it once and put a little oil on there, and when I put my tortilla in the pan, because you have to flip this into it, and when I did that, it melted the Ziploc bag. So parchment paper works the best for me. I just hit that on my press. And there we go, a nice looking tortilla. Do you want me to set this side, or you want me to?
Go ahead and make another one.
Okay. And for people without a without a press. You just do it basically the same way. Get yourself a nice inch diameter ball. Put a little flour on. This is not that complicated. Our grandson, 5-year-old grandson, he's usually a press maker. He does the rolling, he does the pressing, and he eats a lot of the dough while he's making the tortillas. He's pretty good at it, so.
Yeah, these are things that you get the kids to help you
kind of
with.
spin it as you roll it to get it round. Mine's not going to be round, but it's pretty close. But there's one with the rolling pin. And now we'll head over to the pan and drop them in. Now I'll just put just a few drops of oil in my pan. And spread that around. This pan's getting warm pretty good. The first one's kind of your test. You're going to put this in and watch it. And if it's too hot, to just adjust the heat down. If it's not warm enough, just turn the heat up. But that's how I put them in. And then just peel it off there. See, sometimes they stick a little, and you just gotta work it around. I broke the edge a little. That's all right. And we'll just let that cook. And it'll start to bubble up like a regular tortilla.
These are some of the first things that we made when we went to AIP. And we made them because we wanted tacos.
Yes.
And we didn't want to give up tacos. So these have been a lifesaver. And for me, we gave up gluten almost 10 years ago. And these are way better than any gluten-free tortilla that we've come up with, that we bought in the store. We like these a lot better. They're very chewy, and they have good texture and great taste.
You can see where I broke it. It'd be good. It's nice and crunchy there. Oh, and speaking of crunchy, these make excellent rolled tacos. You make them, roll it up, and put some meat, roll it up, and drop them in some oil to fry them, and they are excellent. And you don't have to put oil in every time, just every 2 to 3 if they. But you can see all the nice little golden spots on it. So there's number 1. Now drop in our. But see, I kind of have to work it off a little. The pressed ones do work better because you get the edges on these a little thinner, but got her off there. So either way, rolling pin, tortilla press, don't be scared. We've even used a cup when we couldn't find our rolling pins, so. All right, well, I'm gonna wrap this up. So if you like what you see, like and hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll talk to you next time.